lay me down to sleep, I pray the Lord that I wake again. I wake again, I pray the Lord that Now I lay me down to sleep, I pray the Lord that I wake again. I wake again.
Welcome to Paradigm Shift TV 314. This is your brother, Pianki Patah Muntu Nefera Moon Ra, aka DMG. And today we got another powerful show for you with a powerful brother. But before we get into our spiel, let me do my usual greeting. Let me say hotel. To my fellow Kemetic brothers and sisters, let me say God bless. To my Christian brothers and sisters, let me say Islam. To my Moorish brothers and sisters, let me say Assalamu alaikum to my brothers and sisters in the NOI. Let me say shalom to my Hebrew Israelite brothers and sisters. Let me say peace to my brothers and sisters in the nation of gods and earth and 5%ers. Let me say what's up to my atheist brothers and sisters. And finally, let me say Jumbo to the rest of my brothers and sisters throughout the African diaspora did here in the wilderness of the United States of America or beyond. Now, y'all know I say that greeting for one reason and one reason only, is because if you're Black, I'm with you, and I hope you with me. Our different ideologies should not keep us from uniting, and we can have unity without uniformity, and most importantly, we can disagree without being disrespectfully disagreeable. With all that said, my brother, please introduce yourself to the Paradigm Shift TV 314 audience.
How you doing, Brother Pianki, man? Thanks for having me on the show today. My name is Mike Dixon. I'm here to tell a brief story of my life, man, of if I can do it, so can you.
That's what's up. That's what's up. He being all formal calling me Brother Pianki, but I want everybody to know this actually my blood cousin. So he wants to be all formal, but that's what's up. But just like y'all know, Brother Shabaka is my cousin and brother. This my cousin and brother, but he want to be all professional and formal. Talking about, what's up, Brother Pianki? Like we ain't never met. So we're gonna let him pretend. So, but with that said, the brother has, to me, one of the most inspirational stories I've ever heard, and I've been telling him for years he needs to tell it. So he finally went on ahead and humored me. So we're gonna get right into it. So, my brother, you like a lot of us in our community had situations that set you back, and they were from personal choices that you made. But instead of wallowing in it and making excuses as to why you couldn't make some of yourself, you turned that thing around, and in my opinion, made yourself into one of the most upstanding men that I have personally ever met or got to know. So how did you grow up? What was your family life like? And how did you end up veering into the street life, as we call it?
Well, I was born the baby of four, Nashville, Tennessee, raised here in St. Louis. I was actually raised with both parents in the house. Great parents, man. Strict but fair, stern dad. He taught me right from wrong. We all grew up in the same house, same teachings and everything, but I kind of felt like at an early age, my dad cut me off. I remember it like yesterday. I couldn't have been no older than 12 or 13. I asked my dad, could he buy me a pair of shoes? I just knew he was going to say yes, like always. I'm a kid, And, my daddy, he said, you come to work with me and you can, make some money. You buy those tennis shoes. So I went to work with him and he gave me $20. And I was like, hey, Pop, these shoes like $65. He said, well, you come back to work with me a few times and you can buy those shoes.
Okay.
And, keep in mind, I'm a kid, man. So, I didn't have a choice but to do what my dad said. But all the friends around me, man, they had things and I wanted things. I wanted those things. And so I started watching and paying attention to what was going on around me, even though I knew it was wrong. I just didn't want to be suffering. So, I started dibbing and dabbing into what, my peers were into, and it just kind of went from there. I started, it got good to me. I kind of got addicted to the dollar.
Gotcha. Say less. So it wasn't a typical situation where poverty, a single parent home, being raised just by your mother, and having to help her make ends meet or something like that, kind of drove you to do what you had to do, so to speak. This was more so you looked at things like, hey, if I want something, I got to go out here and get it, and you saw a faster way to it. Is what it sounds like. Is that accurate?
That would be accurate. That would be accurate.
Okay, because a lot of times, like for myself, when I dabbled into that life, it was because I was wearing the same pair of pants to school every day.
Understood.
Mother, and couldn't afford to get me the things that I wanted. So I got tired of wearing the same Lee jeans. I wanted some Levi's and some Guess and some Jabot. So
right,
it was time to do some different things. But I see that because we always assume that it's situations like mine as opposed to situations like yours. But we're not a monolith as a people. We don't all make the same decisions for the same reasons. We all make our own decisions based on our particular wants and desires. So I think that's another interesting facet to the story. So let's talk about what the choices you made, the road that it kind of led you down to, and what the consequences were.
I got comfortable. I gained a negative attitude hanging around negative people, but those negative people is what I call my friends, what I call my OGs. At some point, I felt like I wasn't loved because I felt like I was cut off at such a young age. I'm like, man, I'm a kid again, so I felt like since the hood embraced me, I'm going to do what the hood do. So now I'm in school getting in trouble every other day. It didn't bother me that I was breaking my parents' heart because it didn't bother them that they had broke mine, so to speak, and I got kicked out of school freshman year. I didn't even make it a whole semester, high school. And, as time went on, as an immature teenager, I thought I was still doing pretty good, not having to be in the system just yet. But lo and behold, that ended up happening, falling into the system, and, things happened in between those times that can't be discussed on air,
No doubt.
But, I had began to find faith in a higher power to help me survive the streets, and I was able to do so.
Okay, so we'll talk street terminology. So you eventually had to go away for a little, go out of town for a little while.
Yes, sir.
But before that, even before that, you had found faith in a higher power. It seemed like while you were doing street activities, you found faith in a higher power.
I wouldn't necessarily say I found faith as far as to the point to where I was in church and, I was this big, huge believer. I was just always taught that God was supposed to be a sense of comfort, is where you go when you're scared, so to speak.
Right.
And it was getting scary out there. So in my mind, that's who I was calling on every time I felt the pressure coming on, and
so you was like, Lord, even though I know I'm wrong, man, Hennessy make a brother think he's strong, man. Lord, forgive me if you feel me.
Basically,
I understand perfectly.
And you know how they say, sometimes you got to be careful what you pray for, because God saved me from the streets by sitting me down. You get what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
So that's there.
So you went out of town for a minute. What was that like with regards to your mind state? Like how did that improve or not improve you mentally?
I think being incarcerated, brother, improved me mentally, because I didn't use it as a crutch. I won't allow myself to use it as a crutch. A lot of people go into the system and they come back home with the same mind state, and let me back up a little bit. I had lost an out date while I was inside. After doing 19 months, I was on my way home, and I had lost my date due to a pending case that was out here. So I had to do more time.
Wow.
And it was at that moment that I realized I wasn't ready to come home yet anyway, because I knew I was going to come back home, be on the same dumb. My mind hadn't changed yet. So I took that time.
So hold on. So time out. And I hate to cut your wisdom, but
no, don't worry about it.
So I just want to be clear. You had the clarity of mind. You thought you was getting ready to get out.
Right.
Found out, all right, it's something else that they came back to haunt me that's gonna prohibit me from getting out or stop me from getting out.
Right.
And you had the clarity of mind to say, well, I ain't ready to get out right now anyway.
Yes, sir.
Wow. Okay, go ahead. I just wanted to make sure everybody understood what you were saying.
Yes, sir. So I took that time. It was at that moment that I was just like, you know what? I'm gonna use this time to get my GED, because I was incarcerated, uneducated. I'm a grown man. Didn't have no high school diploma. So I was like, I'm gonna use this time. I'm gonna get my GED, which I did. I'm gonna write down a plan, a positive plan. And I had to come up with interventions that were bigger than myself, because sometimes in life you have to make things bigger than self in order to make it. So I had to think of interventions that were more important than myself, which were my parents. That's all I could think of. I had been breaking their hearts for years. So I was just like, I'm gonna do whatever it takes not to break their hearts anymore. I'm gonna do whatever it takes for my parents not to get that collect call saying, hey, they got me again, and this is what I need, and putting the house up, and so I had to come home with a plan in mind, and that's exactly what I did.
That's what's up. So now this is the part where we transition from, because the name of the show is Mike Dixon from Incarcerated to inspirational. So now we get into the inspiration part.
All right.
And this is the part that I think separates you from most people. And I know you be like, when I say that, but that's a fact. So let's talk about your mentality when you got out, putting that plan in motion, and how you didn't let anything stop you from getting done what you wanted to get done.
Well, I came home and I hit the ground running. I changed my crowd immediately, because if you go back to the same crowd, you're gonna do the same thing.
Facts.
So I changed my crowd. My plan was already written down, and I went and I went straight to a temp service. Didn't hesitate. This was the day that I got out. And I got out on a Friday, and I started the new job on Monday. I also had a buddy that he still has this bar to this day. And he gave me a job, gave me a chance. And I worked those jobs every day. And no fun, no play, no nothing. And I rented my first apartment within 30 days of my release. And so I knew then that if I can accomplish that in 30 days, what could I accomplish in a year? So I began to
you're gonna hear them bomb effects whenever I think you said something that was heavy. So go ahead.
I was still struggling because, a lot of people didn't want to deal with people with a record and stuff like that, but I wouldn't let that get me down. So I did what I had to do. I don't care if it was washing the neighbor's car, cutting the neighbor's grass, whatever, and
time out again. I don't mean to cut your wisdom. So for every brother out there listening or sister, a lot of y'all, we done done things that we regret. Some of us are lucky enough not to have to go sit down, be sent out of town, whatever the case may be. And we come home with this lackluster mentality. I had this on me. I'm a felon this. I can't get this done. I can't get that done. So I want y'all in particular, or if you know somebody with that mentality, I want y'all to pay close attention to this particular part of the interview. Go ahead.
So I had a lawnmower, brother. And I was just hustling, trying to make ends meet to stay out of trouble by any means. And I was literally riding around in a 80, it was an old car, man. It was a 2-door hatchback Acura with the hatchback in the air with a lawnmower hanging out of it, man, every day, going neighborhood to neighborhood, door to door, asking people if they needed their grass cut. And, it was hit or miss, but I would be out all day, every day. This is where I gained my work ethic, working all day, because I was used to searching for work all day and sometimes not finding any, So how you think I'm reacting when I find some, So it literally worked out over the years. It started out slow, man. I was only making probably about $6,000 a year, literally. And I still did not give up. That was like my first year, maybe year and a half. And when I got my first nice little chunk of change, I bought a truck and I started hauling junk for people. People laughed at me, man, like Mike done hit rock bottom. It didn't matter to me. Mike was staying out of trouble though. Mike wasn't on the corner. Mike wasn't locked up. Mike's parents are happy. And man, you gotta forgive me, brother.
No, I got you. Take your time.
So
this real shit. This real shit.
Right. You know, I mean, I'm talking about brothers that you done grew up with. You know, just like, man, this guy, no problem, man. You know, whatever. Thought we was tighter than that. It is what it is. So,
and that's how people do you. Why
right.
you think I go out of my way to let you know what it really is? Because people will deter you or try to deter you from your path by ridiculing you, putting you down, and shit like that. So when I see somebody, especially somebody I love, my family, as you are, but never mind, and you can ask anybody I deal with, people I ain't never even met in person. I put forth positive energy for my people because people will tear you down. And for no reason other than they ain't got shit else to do. That's why I always let you know, cuz this what you doing ain't what everybody doing. Like you gotta take that in and understand you different. So, but go ahead. I ain't mean to go on my soapbox.
You good. You know, so it was just one accomplishment after another. You know, I was just so determined. Once I got one truck, I bought another truck, you know, and then I really, you know, I found faith seriously, you know, and you know that's another story. But when I found God and I started learning more and more, I just asked him, you know, like, God, you know, bless my finances, my territory, you know, my business, put me in a position to where I can help my parents, help those that had helped me when I was just out here just hard to deal with. You get what I'm saying? And I mean, I just didn't give up. And I never had any excuses, you know, and I mean, I don't know if sharing my accomplishments is what everybody want to hear, but
no, because I'm gonna tell you why it's important. And this, I know how you are about not wanting to brag, and this ain't bragging. This is just stating facts. I want people to understand what you've accomplished because it's not just about coming out and trying to do something. It's about doing something and accomplishing things step by step. You started out with one lawnmower, then you got a truck, then you got another truck, and then you progress to the point where you are now. And so, but I'm gonna let you work your way up to that. But you're not bragging, cuz you telling your story and you telling the truth. This ain't bragging. You just state facts. But go ahead.
You know, and I pray for everything, and I end up
real quick. Now y'all heard him say he prayed for everything, so now y'all understand why, regardless of where I'm at with not being a Christian, and we have our critical conversations about why I'm not a Christian. This is why I don't bang on the black church, because he came into the same black church that I came into when I was 17, that I talk about all the time. My uncle pastor that was on the show, I'm gonna re-upload that show where me and the brother Nobody interviewed my uncle pastor. That's the same black church he ended up coming into. And so that's why I say you can't bang on the black church. And you can talk about the evangelical church and the racist shit that they do and these other denominations that's not necessarily conducive to the plight of black people. But the black church, like, I got smoke for you if you start talking shit about that, because that's a different thing. Because I got a man right here that started from the bottom And as he continued to tell his story, you're going to understand that his faith, his foundation in that black church is fundamental to where he is right now, regardless of what we may think about it, whether we believe it's true or not. It's still fundamental to his success as a businessman, as an individual, etc. Go ahead, cuz I just wanted to put that out there.
Oh, you good. Yeah. I prayed a lot. And I actually copied off Uncle Pastor. I remember him saying one day he had prayed, you know, God bless my finances. Let me take care of my family, if nothing else.
Don't lose your thought. I'm gonna turn my camera off because I'm gonna step away for a second, but keep talking.
Okay. And so I was like, you know what? If it worked for Uncle Pastor, you know, it'll work for me too. So I just say, God, you know, hey, bless my finances, you know, put me in a position to take care of my family. And he did that. You know, it was just, you know, business calls were slow, but then they just started coming out of nowhere. You know, when you stay faithful to something, you're gonna see results, positive results. You know, it's just like anything. If you stay faithful to the streets, you're gonna get street results. If you stay positive, you know, I don't want to turn this into a religious show, but if you stay positive in Christ, you know, you're gonna be blessed. You know, and he blessed me. I was eventually able to get a trailer. I went from one lawnmower to plenty lawn equipment. You know, then I veered off into, you know, different types of business, you know, to expand my income.
Hold on real quick, because we're gonna take this step by step. Because I know you said plenty lawn equipment. So let's go. So you started off with one lawnmower and a hatchback.
Mm-hmm.
Bought one truck, you was able to get one truck, then you got another one. Mm-hmm. So now let's go to where you was able to get your trailer, and let's go one by one with all the professional line equipment that you was able to purchase. Not what you paid for, but just the level of equipment that you got.
Yeah, I mean, I'm able to do commercial, you know, jobs now. You know, I can go way beyond residential, you know. So yeah, I can get a lot done. I have enough now to where I can actually have a crew if that's what I chose to do.
Facts. And now y'all, and I want y'all to understand, when I say this man is a hustler, not in the street scene, I'm gonna find a way to provide legal income for me and my family by any means necessary sense. So in the grass cutting season, he cutting grass every day of the week. It finally got to a point where he was like, I'm gonna start taking Sundays off. But he hauling 6 days a week. In the wintertime, he clearing out leaves. Now let's talk about how you decided to incorporate snow and ice removal in your repertoire for the winter. So this is and we ain't even got into the home improvement shit yet. So I just want people to understand, you took skills taught to you along with hustles that you came up with yourself and applied them and built a business. After all of these personal setbacks, you still had the ingenuity to put this shit forth, and you never made an excuse for yourself. Go ahead.
Yeah, that is right. So yeah, when grass season is over, and that was another thing, like when grass season was over, I was just like, man, what I'm gonna do now? And so people just started asking like, hey, you do leaves? You out, you work in the yards, and I was like, you know what? Yeah, I do leaves, and I just started doing leaves. And then I just started coming up with other ideas like, okay, well, when leaf season is over, then what I'm gonna do? So I come up with the driveway hustle. I mean, I'm out with kids, man, doing, shoveling driveways. And then I just came up with the idea, like, you know what? I want to grow. I want to be bigger than this. I want to be out here with these guys, pushing snow with a snow plow. So I was able to work enough and get enough to now I have over maybe like 7 or 8 parking lots that I push snow on now, and that's great, working by yourself, and I won't let nobody, count me out. You count me out, I'm gonna always count myself in, So now I'm able to work all year round. There's just not one season of work for me anymore.
So in a society where felons are often denied jobs to the point where they end up having to perpetuate the same behavior that got them to the point where they became felons, you cultivated a way to build a business where not only did you not have to perpetuate that same behavior, but you actually employ people.
I do.
And pay them and keep them from perpetuating the behavior that would end up getting them locked up. You found a way to keep yourself making money to take care of yourself and your family year round. And so again, I'm gonna drop a bomb for my motherfucking cousins. And I want y'all to understand that this man has in my opinion, taken he the coal that then turned into a diamond. And I don't care what he say about himself, I'm saying it. So he ain't bragging, I'm bragging on him. So I'm gonna drop a bomb. 1, 2, goddamn 3. But
my man,
talk about how you give other people the opportunity to work and make sure they make some money so they ain't got to go out there and make the same mistakes you did.
Okay. Let me backtrack a little bit. If can I give a quick shout out?
It's your show. Go ahead.
I actually want to shout out my brother Rodney Jones, man.
Hold up, I got to drop a bomb for the OG Rodney Jones. Go ahead.
He actually, I guess I can just say, found me, man, in the beginning of my struggle.
Okay.
And he kind of took me under his wing. And he saw me. He was like, man, I see what you're doing, man. I see you trying to get on and get your money. Let me teach you some things, And I know we spoke on the grass and the snow, but he didn't teach me none of that. This man taught me home improvement, drywall and painting and light plumbing and just all types of stuff, man. And he showed me how to get the bag, And so now, since now that I'm at the level that I'm at, he showed me that I need to be able to bring others in and teach them the trade and show them how to get money and without falling back into the streets and everything. And sometimes it's a positive, it's a positive either way it go. Like, I know I tried to reach out and teach one, some people hang in there, and then they go off and do their own thing as I did, which I applaud them. And you get others, that their mental is not there yet. Everybody, a lot of people feel like they just supposed to start at the top, and that's not how it goes. It's a job. You work this job, you learn this job, and then you go from there. You got, like I say, you got some people that want to start at the top, and greed basically kills their progress. So I can't do nothing about that.
Real talk. And for those of you who don't know who Rodney Jones is, he in the Paradigm Shift TV 314 Facebook group. He always drop jewels. That's my man's in them. So once again, shout out to him. So understand, it run way deeper than just we on here talking shit. So when y'all see him dropping jewels, you understand he played the skills that he learned, he played it forward because he saw the potential that my fam had. So and then he took my fam, Mr. Mike Dixon, took those skills and played it forward with helping individuals do what he did. And so this is a continuous cycle. Some gonna pick it up, some ain't. And that's what it is. You can as the proverbs say, you can lead a man to water, but you can't make him drink.
Can't make him drink.
And that's all it is to it. You can either teach a man, you can give a man a fish, or you can teach him how to fish. Either way it go, it's up to him to learn that skill. So with that being said, we're gonna get into the part where we talk about what part your faith in a higher power, the Most High, God, as our people call them, church folk, whatnot. What part did that play in everything you've done, from having one lawnmower, going door to door, to now having 100 different yards, parking lots that you plow in the wintertime, even having your own cleaning company, because y'all know I talk about me having a cleaning company. He has his own cleaning company. We didn't even get to that.
Right.
But, Dixon Construction and Labor, am I saying it correctly?
Yes, sir.
Dixon and Construction and Labor is a legit company. So again, when I say from incarcerated to inspirational, if you can't take inspiration from this man's story, it's something wrong with you, period. But let's talk about how your faith in God continuously, because we argue on Facebook all the time, and we ain't gonna get into no argument. But we argue on Facebook, and we argue just in our day-to-day conversation about my non-belief versus your belief in God. But let's talk about, the fact that you give credit to God about with regards to everything that you've been able to accomplish, and what part your faith in God played in everything you've been able to do.
That's a short but sweet answer, man. It's all because of him. He played a part in everything. I just believe that without him, none of this would have been possible. I can speak on it all day, God, this is what I want. This is what I want you to do. But you know how it goes. Faith without works is dead. So, and like I said, I ain't gonna turn this into
No, good. Don't worry about turning it into a religious show, because we talk about religion all day. So go in.
When I pray something, I believe it. And as long as God continues to do for me, man, the way he been doing for me, I'm gonna always give him the glory, man. I gotta thank him for everything, man. You know, I don't see no other way. You know, God keeps me grounded. Without him, I don't think that I would be able to stay focused on business. I think I would veer away and probably do some things that I don't need to be doing. You know, I ain't about backtracking no more, man. You know, I'm going forward in life. So I gotta keep him first. Without him, I'll be lost.
There it is. And so again, y'all understand why I say it's a difference between the black church and all this other shit. You can't knock the black church and what it done did with regards to the foundation of our people in this particular country. The black church helped establish our communities, and it continues to be the backbone of our community. For those who transitioned out of it, like myself, it is what it is. But you cannot deny the positive aspects. You just heard what my people said. And so again, you can bang on Christianity all you want to. But when you see a brother like my people who have made the shift, the paradigm shift that he made, where the fuck is the argument? It ain't no argument. So, brother, I wanna say this, and this is straight from the heart. As I always tell you, this ain't nothing new, but this just strictly from the art, for the audience. I got all the love in the world for you. You know, we technically we ain't even related, but I feel more of a connection to you in terms of blood relation, in terms of being my cousin and my brother, than I do people that I share DNA with. Because we bonded from the day I met you to this day. And we ain't never wavered in that, even when people done tried to come between us, even when people done tried to put a wedge between us, me and you done stayed true. I done seen you progress in life. I done heard your story. It inspires me to continue to move forward and to do things business-wise. And I think your story is one of the most inspirational stories I've ever heard, period. I don't, like Tyler Perry, salute to the brother. Oprah, I salute to the sister. But from a story that I can personally relate to, I think your story is the shit. And I want to give you your flowers while we here. So
I appreciate that.
Take that shit for what it is. Don't let nobody, and I mean nobody, deny you what you've accomplished as a man, as a father, as a son, because you've taken a situation that could have broke many of people, and you've made a life for yourself, 2 homes, multiple business webs, because you know you made one business and then you branched out into many other businesses. So as a black man in America, for you to do that, I salute you. I got love for you. You know you my brother, 100 grand.
I love you too, cuz.
In closing, what do you have to say to our audience?
I just want, everyone to know that if I can do it, you can do it. Your past does not dictate your future. Don't go through life with excuses, because there are none. You're your own worst downfall, So if I can do it, you can do it. And just pray your way through it. You're gonna make it.
That's facts. And so understand, Malcolm X started off as Malcolm Little. and he turned into Detroit Red. He was a pimp, drug pusher, lover of white women, and he ended up being El Haj Malik El Shabazz, the man who personifies Black masculinity, our Black prince. And so if he can shift his paradigm into what he became and symbolizes for us, if my brother can go from incarcerated to the inspirational story that y'all just heard, then y'all already know we ain't got no excuses. We define ourselves and we can shift our paradigm to do whatever it is we want to do and whatever we want to get accomplished. My brother, you already know what it is. I appreciate you. As y'all already know, this Paradigm Shift TV 314. Tune in for the next episode. That's peace, that's love, hotel. We'll be back at it again. And y'all already know. Stay tuned, stay positive, stay Black, stay inspired. From incarcerated to inspirational. Your past does not define you. What you do moving forward is what defines who you are. We out of here. That's peace.
Peace.